When you're replacing a broken skin on a djembe, it can be difficult to know what to buy. This is going to show beginners exactly what to look for in a djembe skin, so you don't waste time or money, and so you know how to get the right type of skin for your drum and for you as a player. And also because replacing the skin on your djembe is a chance to make it sound the best it possibly can, and that way it's an instrument that inspires you to play a lot and become a better musician. And if this is the first time you're fixing your djembe yourself, you're probably thinking, what is the skin and where do I get one? And this is where it gets a little bit confusing, because there are a lot of different types of skin and prices and suppliers and origins and thicknesses, and none of them have brand names. It's literally a jungle out there. So I'm going to break it down for the total beginner and we can learn this stuff together. And let's try and give your drum the sound you want in your head. Sound good? Roll the beats. So what is a djembe skin? Traditionally, a djembe skin is animal hide, and they're almost always goat skin. And it's stretched over the drum to make the membrane. This is the part that you strike that creates a vibration that resonates in the drum shell. Now, just because it's normally a goat skin, that doesn't mean you have to use goat. People also use calf skin, antelope, deer, and a few other kinds of hides. You can also get synthetic skins that are not animal hide, which is something you might want to consider. Firstly, because it's not an animal product, but also because the quality is going to be more consistent. But for beginners, we recommend goat skin because they're classic traditional djembe and they're fairly easy to work with. And when you buy a skin on its own, this is how they usually come. Either as a pre-cut circle like this, or a rectangle, or even a whole animal hide. And they usually come rolled up like this. They can be quite dry and stiff and even hard to unroll sometimes, but when you fit the skin, you soak it in water and it becomes soft and stretchy, so you can work with it and stretch it over the drum. What do I look for in a djembe skin? There are three main things I consider: the size, the thickness, and the hair. So let's look at these. Djembe skins come in a bunch of sizes. This one is cut into a circle. So when they give you a size, it means the diameter in inches. And if you get them as a rectangle or even the whole hide like this, they'll usually be length and width measurements. And when they're shipped, it's usually in a tube rolled up like this. So what size skin do I need for my drum? Well, obviously you need enough skin to cover the drum head, but you also need some excess skin to work with. And for a large drum, we suggest an extra 6 inches, and that's so you have 3 inches of excess skin all around the drum. So the skin you buy needs to be 6 inches bigger than the size of your drum. For example, I have this djembe which is a size 12, and that means it's a 12 inch across the shell. And when I'm buying a skin for it, I buy at least 18 inch skins. Hey there, I'm Al Payton. I'm the founder of Afro Drumming, and we're all about spreading the joy of drumming. Now listen, I've been there when you're trying to replace a djembe skin, but things just aren't going as smoothly as you'd hoped, and you wish you just had someone to show you exactly what to do. That's why I want to invite you to pick up a copy of my course, Fix Your Djembe in 60 Minutes. It's designed to take the stress out of djembe repair and get you back to drumming in no time. It's a simple 3-step process, just like following a recipe. You follow the instructions, and when you're finished, your new drum is ready to play and it sounds better than when you bought it. If you just need a little help, the course has a cheat sheet that summarizes things and highlights important parts. There's also a complete list of tools and suppliers. And there are over 30 videos, short 1 or 2 minute videos that take you through the whole process without missing a thing. Remember that the heart of your drum lies in the quality of the skin. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned drummer, having the right skin repaired perfectly can make all the difference in your playing. So if you're intrigued, click the link below and grab the course today, and let's get you back to drumming. The next thing to consider is thickness, because the thickness of the skin is going to affect the resonance of the drum, and by that we mean how long the note sustains after you hit it. A thinner skin will have more of a ring sound to it, more of a bright, live sound. That means the resonance is longer. The playing surface is going to be softer, that's the drum head, and have more movement. But thinner skins break easier. Firstly, when you're fitting the skin, if you pull it too hard, you can rip it. And secondly, once it's on your drum, if you play it too hard or bump it, you can break the skin. A thicker skin will have less of a ring to the sound, but they have more of a drier, woody sound with a short note. But thicker skins are harder to play. Because they're heavier, you need to hit them harder to make them vibrate. You also need better technique to produce sounds on a thick skin. It can be painful for beginners to play because it's so hard. There's less chance it's going to break because they're thicker and heavier. A lot of advanced players prefer thick skins because you can tune the pitch higher and they have that very dry sound with no ring to it. And the sweet spot is somewhere in the middle. Most djembes will be fine with a medium thickness skin. And even though there's no definition of medium, you should be fine if you buy from a djembe supplier. The last thing to consider is hair on the skin, because you can buy a skin with the hair still on, like this, or you can buy them chemically treated to remove the hair. The most common and the easiest way to do it is with the skin neatly cut around the playing edge like this. But the ones with hair can look great on a djembe too, if you give them this fur collar. This is harder to create, and then you also need to shave the hair off the playing area. With a hairless skin, you can still fold over the collar if you like, but you don't need to shave the skin at all. And that's why we recommend using a hairless skin for beginners. If you're careful, you can get a really neat edge and the classic djembe look. Does the origin of the skin matter? Some people prefer only African goat skins for a djembe, and others don't really mind, but there is some truth to the idea that the best djembe skins come from hot and dry climates, because they have a lower fat content compared to skins from colder climates. And that's a good thing for your drum. Skins with lower fat content tend to be more responsive and produce a clearer sound. But it's not always possible to get a skin from Africa. Some places don't say where their skins come from, but I would say if you can, get a skin from a hotter climate. If not, no big deal. So how much does a djembe skin cost? Well, it really depends. In the US market, you'll find djembe skins from as low as $8.50 was the cheapest I found on Amazon, up to $90 for a pre-made brand name djembe skin. And I'm just using Amazon to show the range of prices, but for a beginner, the best thing to do is get a skin from a djembe supplier. And there are lots of these kind of businesses all around the world. They're small mom and pop type stores, and they're usually djembe players themselves, and they'll have the knowledge to get the right kind of skin for djembes specifically. So let's go online quickly and have a look for djembe skins. Now this is for the US, so yours might be slightly different, but if you Google djembe skins and you ignore any adverts and you ignore any large companies or large music stores, you'll see this group here, and these are your djembe suppliers. So you've got goatskins.com, Djembe Direct, X8 Drums. These guys are actually in France. I believe it's another US company. Wooler Drum is another one. Here's us. We supply skins within the UK, but you could just as easily type Djembe Skins UK. You would find us there. Afro Drumming. You can type Canada and you'll find these. Tum Tum Mania. There's another company, I believe, called Waraba Djembe. You really just need to Google around and find djembe skins in your country. If you're in the UK, I'd be very grateful if you checked out afrodrumming.com. We've got djembe skins in all shapes and sizes. Haired skins here, we have economy skins if you're on a budget. We also have premium African skins and pre-threaded skins as well. So how much does a djembe skin cost? Well, they range depending on where you get them. In the US, they range between $38 and $45, and in the UK, between 25 and 45 pounds. If you have a smaller djembe, they're usually cheaper options for smaller or thinner skins. And when I buy from these types of places, I usually buy more than one skin at a time. They store very well if you keep them dry, and I keep the spare for an emergency or the next time I break a skin. So try to find a supplier in your country or at least near to you to save on shipping costs. And once you've found a supplier you like, double check the measurements of the skin before you buy it. If you have a djembe made by a major drum manufacturer like Meinl or Toka, you might find that you can buy a pre-made djembe head made specifically for your drum, with the skin already wrapped around a ring. These are more expensive, but they're quicker to fit. But just make sure you get the right size for your drum. If you can't find a pre-made head, you can still do it the normal way. What do we recommend? Putting everything we've spoken about into practice, here's my recommendation for beginners who want to repair their own djembe. If your drum is between 9 and 12 inches, that's a small to medium-sized adult djembe, I would get a medium thickness hairless goat skin that is 6 inches bigger than your drum. If you have a very small drum, say between 5 and 9 inches, only then get a thin skin. For advanced players or more experienced djembe repairers, or if your drum's very large, say over 12 inches, then try a thicker skin. If you want the very high-pitched solo djembe sound, use a very thick goat skin or even a calf skin. But be warned, it's a physically tough job to pull the skin that tight, and beginners will struggle with this. You can get cheaper skins on Amazon and eBay and places like that, and I have bought those kind of skins before as a budget option, but usually I buy higher quality skin because it's worth it in the long run. It's all about that balance between price and performance, no matter where you are in the world. So let's recap. Djembe skins are almost always goat skin, but they can also be calf or other animal hide or synthetic. There are three main things I consider: the size, the thickness, and the hair. They come in a pre-cut circle or rectangles or even pre-made heads. They're measured in inches, and for loose skins you need 6 inches more skin than the size of your drum. Thin skins are for small drums, medium skins are for beginners with an adult-sized djembe, and thicker skins are for large drums and more advanced players. You can buy them with the hair on or off. This depends on personal choice, but hairless skins are easier to work with. If you can specify the origin, try to get African skins or at least skins from a hot climate. We recommend you get your skin from a specialist djembe supplier. They cost $38 to $45 including shipping in the US. And there you have it. I hope you now have a better understanding of skins and everything about them. Good luck on your travels.